Sense of danger from Butter Jack in a bottle of Coke. We are the people of simple pleasures.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pythons and Exotics. I am BPL, and to my right is my co-host, Josue's Exotics. Let him introduce himself and the guest.
What's going on, guys? I'm Josue from Josue's Exotics, and you know I make videos about my reptiles and amphibians. And tonight we got Joe from Venom Proof Cages.
Oh yeah,
what's going on, man? Welcome to the live stream.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good,
Pretty
man.
well.
Good. We just backstage chatting up. Let's see, we got Ledka, Solo Butterfly, DG Reptiles, and Mr. J. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Make sure you guys hit that like button, and let's see, hit the button real quick.
Went over Miami. Hello. Hell yeah, share the shit out. But Joe, welcome, dude. Oh, so you know, we'll bullshit a little bit. I do have like one major question because it's really cool, and I really like that was like. But I'll ask you that in a little while. Mullins, what's up?
Give me 1 second.
Hey, DG Reptiles, you obviously didn't watch my last video because you were one of the winners and you ain't hit me up for your shirt yet, so you better get in there and hit me up.
Oh shit.
I just seen he was in your comments.
I did see that in the video. I did, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's the only one that didn't hit me up yet.
Speaking of that snake, what was it? The Phantom Retic.
Dude,
God damn, that was a beautiful snake.
That is a gorgeous snake.
Ooh, that was a pretty snake.
I'll be honest, my favorite snake at that whole show though was that Moonglow. It wasn't even part of my little thing I was filming it the day earlier on John Grant's table. That was a gorgeous. That was a gorgeous blower.
Welcome, Isaiah. Kara.
It's like, I don't know, like I've been looking at the retics for a while, and I kind of want to get into them and all, but that's a commitment thing, because like when you get that, you know that snake has capability of getting 18, 19 feet one day, so you have to have a room for it.
So if you want a retic and you just want one to have one, right? Get a male. You're looking at like 10, 12 foot peak out on a male. It's the female that's super, super huge. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, still, they're a nasty snake when they want to be, but get a male. And you're not going to have to worry about the mega giants.
Yeah, like, you still like, well, I don't know. My boa is going to get kind of big too, but still, I mean, I can probably make him like a 6 foot, like 6 foot by like 3 foot enclosure, probably be fine. Still,
boa? Yeah.
But a retic probably gets something bigger.
Most of my BCIs, I keep in 4 foot cages, but my 4 foots are 2 foot deep too, so that helps.
Oh. They need that space they can stretch out.
Welcome.
Right.
Welcome.
I mean, one thing that I've noticed, and I didn't used to like preach this back in the day, the bigger the better, because I've noticed you stick a snake, not all species of snake, but your boas, retics, stuff like that, you put them in a bigger cage, you're going to see that snake be way more active. Like they're always exploring. They got things to do. You know, it's weird. I had my one rattlesnake with my Mojave. He was in a 2 foot, which is probably, you know, it's 2 foot by 2 foot, 18 inches tall, probably big enough for his whole life. I decided I wanted to put him in and he used to just kind of chill in his spot. You know what I mean? He'd be in the hide box, or he'd be over in his one spot. And now I got him in a 4 foot, and he's constantly cruising the whole cage, up and down, all over. Like, I don't know, he's exploring.
That's
makes
good
me feel
though. I
like
mean, yeah, as
makes me
long as
feel
he's
better
active.
about keeping them. Right. Yeah.
What's up, Justin? So, my question for you though, what was what inspired you to come up with your own, and build the venom-proof cages? Like,
The
what was it
venom-proof
that
cages. So I honestly designed these about 10, 12 years ago. That was when I came up with the idea for something similar to this. And it was when I was, I've been working with venomous for a long time, and I was like, man, it'd be super sweet if I had everything built into one cage. And I sent emails to Vision Cages, AP Plastics, like all sorts of cage companies, wanting them to custom make me a cage similar to this. And all of them ignored me. They didn't want nothing to do with it. Wasn't worth their time. The venomous community is considered so niche that no one wanted to invest time into it. And so I kind of just gave up on it and just talked about it constantly to the wife. Like, someday there's going to be a company that's going to make a cage like I want, or eventually I'm just going to give up and make them myself. So years and years went by. I went to the Conroe show with my daughter. My son was sick, so the wife couldn't go with. And that was her first mistake. And Elise Lago from Pythons&Exotics had a super sunset monocle cobra there, and I fell in love. My wife wasn't there to tell me no. My daughter just encouraged me. And next thing you know, we were on our way home with monocle cobra. And when I got home, and at this time I had probably 20 or 30 venomous snakes, but they were all cottonmouths, copperheads, rattlesnakes, couple squams, like at the time what I considered entry-level venomous, right? I've learned a lot since then, and I don't consider rattlesnakes entry-level anymore, honestly, I don't. But so I come home with this monocle cobra, and she wasn't happy with me. She said, you got 10 days to make one of those cages you've been talking about for as long as I've known you, or you're selling them. So I made one, and I made it out of wood. That one, actually, I don't have around no more. A friend of mine, they bought it. They said they were going to keep it in the closet, so someday when my company is famous, they consider they have the original. But I used it. I really liked it. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to make some out of plastic. And I made some, my original ones that were out of quarter-inch plastic welded them. They did the job. I thought they were cool. I was just making them for myself. And then I posted a video online of me cleaning a rattlesnake cage with the snake in there. Took 3 minutes, never had to touch the snake. Everything was slick. And that video kind of went viral on Facebook. And so that was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not the only guy that wants these. And I sold like 80% of my collection, took all my savings, and went into designing and working with CNC manufacturers and all the mistakes I've made in the last year. And Venom-Proof Cages was born.
That is awesome, man. That is really awesome. Welcome,
Hell
CSO.
yeah, man. Because if you guys do not know, man, you need to guys go check him out on is it venomproofcages.com?
So the website should be back up and running in a few days. The other one, my original one, expired through Wix, and I had a professional one being built, and they were almost done with it. I actually just spoke with them today, so that my website will be back live again next week sometime. But I'm on Facebook and Instagram too.
Sweet.
Yeah, so definitely hit them up, man, because they are some awesome cages, man. Like, yeah, I can't even think. I'm getting one, man. Just you have to give me one. I'm getting one that's moving and stuff. I'm getting one and getting stuff set up.
And they work for stuff that's not venomous too. As a matter of fact, I sell a lot of them for people have a reptile that's super defensive, and every time they go to change the water bowl, it's striking at them. Or people that have little kids and they want to get them involved, but they don't want them opening the cage and turning their animal loose, and they got to chase it all over their house, so they can just lock it on and be like, go clean that cage. People with monitors, big retics, like male retics that have attitudes, I make them all the way up to an 8-foot. Tegus, a lot of people buy them for tegus. My 6-footer sells a lot for tegus. Savannah monitors, iguanas, I've sold a few for iguanas before. So, I mean, anything that's got an attitude and you don't want to mess with it when it comes to simple cage maintenance, hit me up.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, dude. That's badass, man.
Yeah. And if you just love my product, but you don't need all the extras, very, very soon here within the next month, I'll have standard cages coming out too. which will still have my nice locks. They just won't have all the extra lockout hide box features.
Heck
Right
yeah.
on. Oh yeah, dude. That, I mean, fuck. That's the whole. When I heard about the lockable hide and all that, dude, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because you get two reactions. You either get, that's fucking awesome, that's genius, I love it, I can't believe these didn't come out sooner, or oh, you must be some type of pussy if you need those. Those are the two responses you get.
God damn. Yeah.
There's no in between about it. Like, that's just the way it is, or the guys that like me a lot, they'll be like, yeah, dude, your cages are awesome. They're just, I don't have a need for them. That'll be the other one I'll get once in a while. And it's like, yep, tell me that when you're in the hospital because you got complacent because you do it 20 times a day, so it became routine.
There you go. Because man, it only took one time when I fed my pygmy rattlesnake at Live Rat. I seen that.
Yeah.
Man, yep. It made me a believer out of them. So I'd be extra careful.
Yeah, I mean, dude, as pygmy as small as they are,
That's
a nasty bite. Yeah.
It made a believer out of me. I'll say it again. I'm extra careful with him.
I used to have a rule whenever I got a new venomous, the first thing I did was do a live feeding just so I could have that mental note. You know what I mean? I don't do it anymore because I had tragedy go down with one of my snakes and I had to nurse it back to health for 9 months. But there's nothing that'll open your eyes more than when you see a snake hit a rodent and within 30 seconds or less, that rodent's done.
Yeah. That's the look on my face. I sat there with the camera rolling. I was like, holy shit. I definitely need to get bit by this thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was sweating.
Yeah,
I don't have anything venomous. Ball python love. I mean, that's pretty much all I got.
But see, I love looking at them and stuff. Love working with them and hook, trying to get them trained to stay on the hook and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Definitely. Ball pythons are cool when they're stillborn and I can feed them to cobras.
Nah.
God damn. Hey,
nah, I love ball pythons because if it weren't, and anyone that has a problem with ball pythons need to understand our industry wouldn't be what it is today without them.
Yeah, it would not.
It's just 100% facts. That ball pythons were what turned a hobby into an industry and, into a business, into an industry. And what we have today wouldn't be there without the ball pythons. Even if there is 9,000 morphs and 80% of them look the same.
That is true too. But because we start looking at some of them and I'm like, I guess I see it.
Problem is anytime I finally see a ball python, I'm like, yeah, I would own that one. Then I look at it and it's like $8,000. Like, they're still producing ball pythons that cost this much? What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
I seen one, yeah. When I went to the Replicon event I went to, I was, oof. But it was a good looking snake.
I hate Repticon with a passion.
You don't do Repticon?
They will never be graced with my presence.
How so? Why do you say that?
Okay, so I'm a firm believer in building people that are building the hobby. And Repticon in its day was exactly that. They put on great shows. They would advertise. They cared about the animals coming in, the people that were showing up, this, that, and the next thing. And then they turned into a traveling circus act. And that's literally what they are at this point. They expect all of their vendors to do their advertising for them. They'll send you a big stack of flyers and they'll offer you cheaper tables if you go hand them out for their shows. And all the vendors take the cheaper tables. Nobody hands out the flyers. They don't do any advertising. They had shows up in Wisconsin where 50 people would come through the door, because they didn't do anything and they didn't care. But my final straw with Repticon was 6 or 7 years ago. I can't remember how long ago it was now. They had a show down in Houston, or way down in Texas. I think it was Houston. And that was when the hurricane came through and flooded everything out. Now, I heard that there was a huge tropical storm coming through, so I hit him up like a week and a half earlier, and I was like, listen, I'm not coming to Wisconsin to go swimming. Like, I'm not driving 20 hours to come bend a show when there's a fucking tropical storm coming through. I'm going to cancel the show. And they said, well, that's fine, but since you canceled within 2 weeks, we're charging you for your tables anyway. And I said, whatever, it is what it is. I'm not taking the risk. You know, it cost me too much money to take a trip to have it turn out bad.
Yep.
Turns out the hurricane came through, completely flooded the building they were supposed to be in. They never had the show. Like, they left Andy Hines dry goods there for the storm. And when Andy came through on Tuesday, he had fish tanks and like Reptichip and stuff floating all over this building. They never even had the show. So I called them up and I said, hey, you know, since the show never happened because it flooded and it was underwater, y'all should refund me my table fees back that I paid for.
Hell yeah.
And they refused. They said, nope, you didn't know that was going to happen. You canceled within 2 weeks of the show. We're not giving you your money back. And I said, well, if that's the way you want to play it, we can play it that way. And I've never been to Repticon again to this day. They offer me free tables every year for the Milwaukee and Minnesota show, and I still won't go.
That's a shame. That's fucked up. That's
And yes,
Repticon. Damn.
Derek, I didn't want to interrupt him while he was talking. That's why I didn't say anything. But what's up, Derek?
Yeah, what's up, Derek? Benji, been wonderful. KNC, Solo Butterfly, Michaela, what's going on, everybody?
Thanks, everybody showing up. Smash that like button, share the shit out.
Yeah, got a whole bunch of people in the chat.
So, how do you feel about King Cobras?
So, I'm getting one this year.
Because what was it? Ophiophagus something. I forgot what the other one is.
Yeah, Ophiophagus Ohana.
Yeah. Because, man, I love looking at them, man. Because I was looking at the Malaysian ones. I'm like, dude, they're freaking gorgeous snakes.
The Malaysian's my favorite. Unfortunately, unless you go wild caught, I don't know anyone that's breeding pure lines in the States right now. Everyone's breeding crosses. So the one that I'm getting is Malaysian Indo cross. Yeah, Indo-Malaysian cross. And from Andy Maddox. And I couldn't be more excited. I've wanted a King Cobra for a long time.
Right on.
Yeah, man, because they freaking awesome snakes. Because like I watched what's his Tyler Chandler's Wildlife down in like Florida, and like he has a super awesome one, Kevin, and like I don't know, just watching him interact with that snake and like just seeing how intelligent that snake is, and I don't know, just working with him, he seems like.
But I will say, Kevin is an individual snake. Not all King Cobras are like Kevin. Most of them are more like his Cobra Justina. You see Justina, crazy one he's got?
Mean as fuck.
Yeah, that's most King Cobras.
Who's Kevin?
My buddy Chris Janacek, he's got one of Andy's that he's raised up. I think it's like 2 or 3 years old now. It's one of the Malaysian Indo crosses. That snake will be chill 1 second, and 5 minutes later it'll be trying to kill you, and the next second is trying to take a nap, and then it's got a split personality, and it just switches it like that.
Oof.
So it's definitely a snake that demands respect.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Ooh. But then those, and then what other one I was looking at? Because I like the Gaboon Vipers a lot too, but you can't get one of those either. Unfortunately,
Georgia sucks. I got 5 Gaboon Vipers.
Because like, dude, J&G showed us one, and like, man, they're freaking awesome. Just like the patterns and the X's across all of them.
What about like a Taipan?
So
Taipan will fuck you up too.
The reason I'm not into Taipans is because it's a super lightning fast corn snake that'll kill you. So like, I don't get the thrill in it. My buddy's got a pair of them, and I appreciate him when I go to his house, but I don't want no damn Taipan. But then again, I said that about a Mamba too, and I got one of those now too. There's one of my Gabbies.
See, look at that face.
Yeah, he's badass. He just be chilling in there.
Like for a venomous snake, hands down, that's probably one of my most favorite ones. But the green mamba is probably the prettiest, like one of like color and stuff.
Dude, I love my green mamba.
Yeah, the
So
green
much.
mambas are
Matter of
freaking off
fact,
the chain.
I can't wait for him to get back home. He's on a breeder loan right now with my buddy Christian check. So fingers crossed, we'll get some eggs this year yet.
Hey, some baby green mambas.
Dude, we're hoping. So we haven't seen any confirmed locks or anything like that yet. They didn't kill each other, which was the first good sign. So now we're at a point where we don't know if we want to try and separate them, or because mambas can kill other mambas, they're not immune to their own venom. So now that we know that they're okay with each other, we're scared to like separate them. So we're just gonna kind of leave them until we either some eggs come out or we see some confirmed locks or something that tells us that they bred. But it sucks because I miss my snake.
You should do like Venom Man and take the taipan bite after taking a mamba bite right before. Oh nah.
No, a dude did it. I saw that. It was a black mamba and a taipan, and he took
Yeah.
I've seen the video, man.
He's also like a super sciencey medical nerd. He's got like medical degrees, and that stuff started like years ago, and like microdosed. You got to be so careful when you're doing that kind of stuff. One calculation wrong in the whole process, and you're screwed. You know, now, yeah, he's immune to it. But what most people don't realize is he didn't start that so he'd be immune to snake venom. He did it because he was trying to create an anti-venom through natural antibodies through himself. You know, the same way they create anti-venom for people now, except for they do it through horses. You know, so he just did the same process just on himself.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
That's how they actually create an anti-venom. Is they'll start injecting tiny bits into a horse over time until they build it up. That horse will create an antibody which naturally defends it from the venom, and then they replicate that, and that's what your anti-venom is.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
which is also why
It's
also why anti-venom can't be FDA approved, because you have to test it on humans, and you can't really test humans with venom.
No.
You know.
No,
that's why the whole getting your own
sense.
anti-venom is such a long chore.
The dude's wife left him over it. Damn. That's crazy.
Hey man, if you can get bit by a black mamba and just sit there and take it, like I think I don't know.
And a taipan at the same time within 5 minutes of each other? Yeah. No, fuck.
Yep.
Because I got to see one of those one time. Like I went to that one in South Carolina. I think it was an inland taipan.
Yep.
I seen that and I was like, oh shit. That's the shit I'd be hearing about on Discovery Channel.
Yeah. They're wild.
They're
beautiful.
They're
They're super beautiful, but they're so fast and like just so their bite is so lethal. It's just But my buddy Chris, the one that's got him, he's got a lot of crazy shit. Like, and he does some stuff that's you can tell he's been working with certain snakes for a long time. But he'll tell you right up, like when he's showing you snakes, he'll be like, all right, you got to back up because this one's going to charge when I open the thing. Like he knows his animals so well. But them taipans, man, even he gets nervous with them.
Hey, I don't care. The guy that's keeping the snakes is nervous. Believe me, that makes me nervous.
Right. Yeah. No, if I see my buddy Chris sweating, you know, be on your toes.
He's already, I guarantee you, like if I come hang out with you, Joe, you be like, all right, Hostway, man. Hey, just
right.
Hey, I got you, bro. You know this thing a whole lot more than I do.
Most people are shocked when they come to my place because I'm not the one that's going to pull out every snake that you want to see. You'll see every snake I got, but I ain't pulling everyone out.
Hell no. I'm ready to look at them through the glass. I'm fine.
Right. Yep. Because I learned over the years that number one, it ain't doing no good to the snake. It's just stressing the snake out.
Exactly.
And I got to be focused on not only what I'm doing, and whoever's at my house that's not familiar with this, so they don't know how to act on a snake, jerks in a certain way or huffs or puffs or hoods up, like they're going to be freaked out, creating more commotion. It's just a more dangerous situation. You want to come see my stuff? Come see my stuff anytime you want. You can look through the glass at every snake I got.
Yeah,
There might be one or two that I'll move around with the hook to give you a better look at. Some of my younger monocles or something like that, or a copperhead. But other than that, look at them through the glass. They don't look any different. I don't like trying to be a showboat when people come over either. And it's
Cause you got, man, those are snakes that can physically kill you. Like, man, you have to be the utmost careful.
Well, right. And even if I don't die, what positive would ever come from me getting bit?
Exactly.
The community, it's gonna most likely make the news no matter how hard you try and keep it quiet. Someone's gonna hear about it. It's gonna blow up on Facebook. It's gonna create issues in the community. And in the worst case scenario, say I do die, what good am I for the community now? Like, I feel like I've always tried to do great things for the reptile hobby, the reptile industry, the reptile hobby, the best I can. Whether it be producing quality animals or educating people with my videos, or creating an amazing cage that can keep people safe and create more safe keepers. If I die, who's going to stand up for that next? I can't count on the next guy to step foot. Taking place. Plus I got 4 kids that need me around too.
Yeah. Man. So what do you think is probably what would you say be the coolest snake you got though?
The coolest snake I got?
Like, just in your opinion, like, what's your favorite one?
My favorite snake, honestly, is Peaches, which is my coral albino boa. But we've had her. I got her for my wife when she was just a little baby. So she's just like a personal favorite. As far as my snakes go, it's hard to pick like what's my favorite or what's my coolest. My coolest snakes, honestly, are probably my sunbeams. They're not even venomous. And that's just because 99% of them that come into the country just die. And I've had these these have been in captivity for 4 years, regularly feeding. And I might actually be able to be the second person in the United States to ever produce them in captivity real shortly. So that's probably my proudest snake that I got. And it's not even really, everyone's probably seen one, but no one's ever seen one that's thriving.
What's your most venomous snake
I
in
will
your
say.
collection?
Wait, what'd you say?
What's your most venomous snake in your collection?
My mamba for sure.
Mamba for sure.
Yeah, between my mamba and my gaboon viper, I would say them two are pretty up there with as far as how potent they are. I don't think I'd want to take a bite from any of them though, that's for sure.
No, fuck no. Yeah.
You ever thought about getting like a coral snake or something like that?
So, what's up? So, coral snakes, yeah. I'm waiting on my buddy Chris to produce some. When I was at his house last, he was just pulling them out of hibernation. I want to make sure I got one that's already switched over to rodents. So like for me to buy a wild caught be no good because finding lizards to feed a coral snake consistently up here in Wisconsin could be a chore. I could do it because I have connections to where I could order shit, but I don't want to be ordering wild caught lizards all the time for my snake and then have to constantly do deworming. So I will have them soon. I'm just waiting for some quality captive born ones that are already on rodents.
Fair enough. Because that make a difference. Because I ain't gonna go out and go catch no lizards.
Right.
That's
like,
too much work.
I was already nervous about getting a king, having to feed its snakes, especially when they're little. And so when I decided, like, okay, I'm going to get a king, I talked to the breeder that I was going to get them from. And, we kind of set a plan in motion. I've been collecting feeders for, the last 9 months probably already. From every ball python breeder that I know has got my name and number down if they have a stillborn. Like all of the colubrid breeders, like all of them.
Yeah, because you're going to need a lot of snakes.
Yeah, at least at first until I get it switched over to rats.
Yeah, because they said
What's up,
that
Greg?
diet of like snakes with the king is supposed to be a whole lot better for them in general.
It is better for them in general, so you still want to feed them from time to time. But like, I want to make sure I had them established and I have connections to get like stillborns and stuff, because I feel bad for like, you go to a reptile show, you can see it down in Texas a lot. You get like a brand new breeder, he booked a table, he's got a table full of, you know, $40 and under corn snakes, and some dude buys them out before the show even starts, and he's all like, yeah, man, I sold every baby I produced. And it's like, yeah, dude owns 6 king cobras. And then you can just see like the sadness hit him.
Man,
Which,
that's
I
a
mean,
lot of money for food, man.
snakes got to eat, but I'd rather buy stillborns.
Heck yeah, I'd rather do that. Good Lord, that's expensive.
Yeah, it can get expensive quick.
Damn. Yeah.
You know, if you live, you could always collect them and freeze them like garter snakes and stuff, but I'm not into ripping shit out of the wild too much anymore unless there's a purpose for it.
Yeah, that's true too.
What's up, J&G?
Yeah, welcome,
What's up,
brother. What's
Greg?
going on? We got a whole bunch of people in the chat. They've been sitting there watching. That's why I'm there reading the whole time.
Sleepy Weasel, welcome. Oh yeah, so
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, I'm gonna try to find something else with all the road crews, and hopefully it'll pay off eventually. I've been hitting
Right.
up a couple spots. I want to get me a copperhead though. That'll be the main
Yeah.
one.
I love my copperheads. I got a bunch of them. They're a spicy little noodle. They're fun. I like them. I like how quick and like jolty they are, but they're super aware. Cottonmouths are a lot of fun too. Like when I bought my first cottonmouth, dude was like, "Well, you like copperheads, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I love copperheads. I got a whole bunch of them. I'm a sucker for them." He's like, "Well, these are just like a bigger copperhead," but they're not. They're like hyper and they destroy their cages.
Really?
But they're fun, man, because they're constantly active, like constantly. I just saw a question from me. Hognose.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any hognose. And the reason I don't have any hognose is because I don't like to jump on the next best thing bandwagon, because by the time you do, it's already over.
Yep. That is true. Because man, I was looking at the hog nose for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from it. I don't really want one that bad.
You know, and I love them. I think they're cool, but I already got cobras I got to feed every 5 days. I don't want a hognose I got to feed every 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got shit to do.
So what kind of cobras do you have? Like you got the monocle cobras, and what
just my
other
monocles right now. I'm trying to get some specs, but every time I see them, they're either super expensive and I'm broke, or they're a really good deal, or they're either super cheap and I'm broke, or they're super expensive and I don't want to spend the money.
So what about the spitting cobra? You like those?
So because of the fact that all of my animals are in my house, like I won't do spitters until my kids are moved out.
What's going on there?
No.
Makes sense.
Because with spitting cobras, even if they're not spitting at you, if they're just spitting in the room, spitting in their cage, and you're cleaning that, over time you can build an allergy to it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of keepers that have kept spitting cobras, 10, 12 years, all of a sudden they're allergic to venom, and they didn't used to be before. The last thing I want to do, and I mean, if you watch my videos, I let my kids clean my cages. Like, I'll lock the snake in the hide box and you clean the damn thing. I don't need my 6-year-old developing an allergic reaction to venom because I had a spitter. Didn't even spit at him. So it's a personal safety choice of mine, because I always try to keep safety first, and that's why I love them. My buddy's got some. I love the zebra spitters. Until my kids are all up and out of here and it's just me that's at risk as far as stuff like that goes, I ain't doing spitters.
Ooh.
But then again, a monocle is spit if you give it half a chance.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
It's not very common though, or
So what I've talked to like Tom Crutchfield and a bunch of people in the hobby, and what we think it is we think that because they get so worked up, because it doesn't like stream like a regular spitter, it almost sprays. If that makes sense. Like if you got it on spray mode compared to stream mode on like a Windex.
yeah.
We think what it is they come with so much force with their bluffs when they're pushing, they'll charge and come back and charge and come back. That just pressure forces it right out of their fang, and it kind of sprays out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll notice that like they'll come bluff at the front of the cage, and you'll have venom that'll be splattered all over, and they never even touched it.
Damn, did not know that.
That's some first-hand knowledge right there. That's something a lot of people won't even know.
You'll have people that will argue with you, but anyone that's ever kept a monocle cobra for any reasonable amount of time will tell you straight up, yeah, bro, they can spray venom.
Damn. And it's just like you said, it's just all the pressure they build up from like bluffing the hit,
That's what we think it is. Like, that's our best, like, because it always seems like when it happens is when they're super, like, really irritated, or they're charging the front, or someone's like, you get a little kid that starts tapping on the front of a cage and they really start bluffing and charging the glass, and all of a sudden you see little speckles all over the place.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure there's no cuts in your hands when you clean it.
What cage is best? DG wants to know what cage is best for the eyelash vipers.
So I would say probably my arboreal. It's a little on the large side if you're getting like a baby, but for a full-grown adult, it'd be all right because it's 2 by 2 by 3 foot tall. I'm working on eventually having some smaller sizes. The problem with making them too small is then you can't get into the hide box to clean the hide box. So, but I'll probably have some smaller versions for like squams and eyelashes in the future. But if you have one with any kind of size to it, the arboreal works great. Matter of fact, here I can show off an arboreal quick. Let's see. This is my arboreal right here. So it's got the hide box up in the top corner, so you can shut it off from up there, because your arboreal snakes like to hide up in the air, not necessarily on the bottom. But then it's got, full 2 foot by 2 foot, your feeding door. That's the one I would go with.
Look how awesome that thing looks, man. It's sleek, it's black.
Yeah, that's actually the Mamba's cage. It's been empty for a little bit now, so I have an albino checker garter in there right now.
I was going to ask you about those, because I remember you picked up some a little while ago.
Yeah, I have a pair of them. One of them's downstairs, but the other one's in here in my arboreal, wherever the hell it went. He's down there. Let's see if I can get him.
I like the checker garter snakes. I got to get one added to my little collection.
There you go.
Oh yes, he's getting big then.
Yeah. Yeah, he dumped his cage and got it all nasty, and I didn't feel like cleaning it because he was just in like a tub. And I was like, well, my arboreal cage is clean. Nothing sitting in there waiting for my mama to come home. So I put him in there, and you wouldn't believe that garter snake climbs constantly. It's always up in the trees, up in the hide box. Like, it blew my mind.
Yeah, man, they all over the place. I got 2 of mine, and they never sit still.
No, like that snake's 2 by 2 by 3, and he's at the top of it, the bottom of it, up in the hide box. He loves that cage.
You give them the space, they'll go anywhere you give them to them. That's what I like about like the colubers and all. I mean, well, maybe it's just garter snakes, but
when I had them in the regular bin, he would just hide under his log all the time. You know, you barely ever see him moving around, and now he's got all the space and he's all over it.
Oh yeah, dude, that's badass though, man. Congrats. I mean, shit, I don't know really what to say besides that's a fucking genius idea that you came up with to make. So
Just give it some time. Like by like this time next year, it'd be like it'd be some probably blew up, and it'd be next to like Zilla and like all the rest of those guys.
It's coming. I mean, like me and the wife have always believed that from the beginning. It was a lot harder than we ever originally planned. Like when I put my first video up of my personal cage and it blew up, I was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow. Like, you know, that was my mindset. And man, that was not the case at all. Like, because what's hard is when you come up with something that's so new and so different, something unlike anyone's ever seen before, you have to teach every single individual person what it does and how it works. And that's a long, expensive process. Like, because you look at a picture of one of my cages, if you just see a picture of it, you're like, why the hell does that cage got 5 doors of 3 different sizes? Fucking weird, you know? But then when you see one in person and the first time you see that slide door locked shut, you're like, whoa. Then it clicks, and then people start talking about it. You know, you catch a couple sales here, a couple sales there, and then people are like, man, I got this. I like how it works. And then you got people like J&G all of a sudden that ordered 14 cages in 2 weeks, you know. And it builds from there, you know, because, you know, then you got, you know, sales like J&G's. He's got his YouTube channel, so he's going to be filming constantly. People are going to be like, dang, what are those cages you're keeping them in? And it's just, it builds. And especially the way the industry is going now, everyone's trying to do things safer. They want less laws being passed, you know. The new generation is going to take it to the next level. You know, you got your old school guys that are like, I'm doing it just fine. I'm not going to change. I've been doing it this way for 20 years. And then you got the new school guys that are like, why risk it? You know, I can enjoy what I love and I don't have to die.
Hi, you guys. I don't pop in very often, but hello.
hey,
What's going on?
Better half.
Yeah, she's the one y'all can thank for the cages.
See?
Hi,
We
bye.
appreciate it because we definitely gonna spread the word out and try to get y'all, like, you know what I mean. We're gonna get the word out about venom-proof cages because I'm gonna get one pretty soon when I get moved, and then I'm like said, anybody I know, like, hey, get you one of those.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyone that's either had them, seen them, or used them, that's all they talk about.
those who are
Unless they got a small weenie complex, then they hate them.
Because the people that sit there and say like, well, what are you, some kind of pussy or something like that? Oh, just go in there and clean it. Nah, you go clean it.
Right. Yeah. Or you'll have the people that say, if you're not handling your snakes regularly, you lose the niche for it. You know, couldn't be much farther from the truth. You know,
Yeah.
if you stop driving a car for 3 months, when you get in the car, you forget how to fucking drive. No, you put it in gear and you drive down the road. You don't forget how to do it. You know, if anything, I've learned that by working with the snakes less often, I'm more cautious. You know, every time I'm working with my venomous, my bite protocols are handy. I have very strict like bite protocols. When I work with my venomous, keys are in the ignition in a vehicle, like not in someone's hand. The keys are in the ignition, so that way I don't have to worry about where are the keys. I just got bit. They're already in the ignition. You know, I got my bite protocols handy. I speak clearly about the species that I'm working with. You know, I don't miss any steps and I don't lose focus because it's not routine. You know what I mean? So every minute I'm 100% focused on what I'm doing. In my opinion, that makes it much safer than someone that's just reaching and grabbing snakes and going like this and look at my gaboon viper on my hand. That's just foolish.
Hell no, I'm good on that. Whew. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'll be too scared to even like. I'll be using hooks and stuff. Like I couldn't even touch them with my hand, more or less.
Right. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I didn't do dumb shit when I was younger with deadly snakes and even non-deadly snakes. I did a lot of dumb shit when I was younger, but I learned from that, and I came to a realization that wasn't helping anything. And you see it more and more every day. I mean, look at what just happened in South Carolina or North Carolina, wherever.
I was going to ask you how you felt about that.
So what's funny is I had already had scheduled to go to dude's house and do a video for my channel. I had talked to him when he got bit by his fucking mama.
Damn.
I messaged him and I reached out to him. I said, hey, man, you know, I got this channel. I work with venom proof cages. I think you'd like to see my product. You know, I'd like to come, you know, see what you got, do a little thing about your bike for my channel. And he was, you know, he seemed like an okay dude, but you could kind of tell like he was still in that young showboat stage. And then when I heard about the snake getting released, and then I heard through the grapevine that we all already knew who it was, I kind of had my like suspicions. But then when I found out for sure it was him, I was like, come on, man. And what's weird, what blew my mind about the situation is supposedly when he got bit, they inspected his cages, and his cages were all okay. They said they were fine. Now the kid's getting 36 charges for improper cages. How come it wasn't a problem before? Now, granted, from what I hear, that snake was loose long before any of that even happened. Which that's where he crossed the line with me. If you got a deadly venomous snake that escapes from your facility, you immediately report that. I don't even care if it's required or not. You know, in his state, it was required. I don't even think it's required in my state, but it should be common sense. You report that. You know what I mean? You got neighbors with little kids running around in parks and playgrounds and, you know, people's pets. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, with what just happened, no matter what law they pass there, what can we say about it? He literally proved every one of these people that are freaking out 100% right. It pisses me off. So I got a lot of friends from that state that'll be drastically affected if they change the laws, all because one kid was a dumbass. He wanted a bunch of cool snakes. He obviously couldn't house them properly, which I'm sorry. Keeping snakes and venomous snakes in tubs is stupid. Now, I keep some venomous snakes in tubs. I sure do. But those tubs are inside a locked cage when I'm not working with that animal. They're only in the tub because they're small, but I put that whole tub inside another cage that's locked. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you even let them happen.
My ball pythons are in racks, so I don't know how you feel about that, but.
So I don't have a problem with racks, but you got ball pythons. If your ball python gets loose, it's not going to kill half the neighborhood.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No. But you brung up like the tub. I mean, it's kind of a tub.
No, I'm speaking venomous snakes in general.
No, I get. Okay.
So, you know, and I personally, I'm not a fan of venomous snakes in racks either. I think it can be done properly, but it's a very dangerous way to keep venomous snakes.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
Because like I've seen some like it's like a metal racking system with the same like plastic tubs that go in there, but when you push the tub in, there's like a little slit for like a metal pin or something to go down in front of the tub to hold it in place. Yeah. But other than that, that's the only thing I've seen people use. But
so I have a buddy, Robert from Lone Star Racks. Yeah, bring it here. When it's my turn, bring it here. I have a buddy from Lone Star Racks. I advertise this company all the time. Me and him have been working on a venomous specific rack for about 6 to 9 months now, give or take. And when y'all see that, you're going to be blown away. You're going to be surprised that I didn't drop it, but I have respect for my friends, and I'm not going to step on his rack business. So there's a new venomous rack coming out that's going to blow everyone's mind.
Damn. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, just stay tuned for it. It'll be coming from Lone Star Racks. It's been me, Brent from Venom Life Gear, and Robert from Lone Star. We've been meticulously designing this venomous rack for a while. You'll be able to literally lock out each individual tub with a padlock, to where the only way to open that tub is with a key.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That is badass, dude. Hell yeah.
Because you cannot stress that fact enough. You need to make sure them snakes stay locked up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I mean, I feel like people that have non-venomous stuff should be worried about their stuff escaping. But people that have venomous stuff, like, if it's not your number one cause to keep your animals secure, you don't belong having none of it. You know?
Totally
I mean,
agree
I
with
think
you.
about my house, like, I got my stuff in locked cages, in a locked room, or in my locked basement. But I got kids running around. Like, there ain't no way there's a single chance of anything escaping from my house.
Mm-mm.
Ain't happening.
It's like you said though, you got the proper setup. The dude that in North or South Carolina, he didn't have it. Like,
Right. And, you know, and sometimes it's not always just a setup. Sometimes you got to think of yourself as a responsible keeper. Stop taking your damn cobras outside to get a picture in the backyard.
yep.
Like, that's just foolish.
On top
What
of
happens when that snake gets away from you? What do you do then? You know what I mean?
it's a snake. Like,
Right. Like, I was out herping today catching water snakes. I seen probably 50 water snakes, caught 3 of them. That's how fast. I mean, you know how it is. They're in the grass. They're gone. You can't see them no more. Like, they just vanish into thin air. What happens when it's a fucking cobra? Because then it's not like a garter snake going across your yard. You can't just keep diving for it.
hell no.
Yeah.
You got to try to grab him by his tail or use a hook to try to slow him down or wherever. If you can even keep up with him, that's the question.
Yep. Yeah, if you're not out in the wild herping where they're from, your venomous snakes don't belong outside. Personal opinion.
I totally agree. No, I agree with that. You shouldn't own a cobra and be like, yeah, I want to go take a photo in my backyard with this thing, and then like something goes wrong. This is my personal opinion about it. Dude went to go take the photo outside. The snake probably like went towards him. He probably freaked out, fell backwards. Snake went one way. He probably went to go grab the tail. It probably did the same thing. He probably chickened out and fucking it got away from him.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I could imagine what's going through his head. Like, what do I do now? Being scared to report it. But you got to realize there's a responsibility to it. Like, you know, the fact that that snake survived a winter.
Yeah.
That's what no one's really wrapping their head around. Like, everyone says, oh, and he probably thought the same thing. Oh, it'll just die this winter. It made it. National fucking news, man.
Well, see, it wouldn't even really. Well, I can't say because I live a whole lot further south, but I don't know. It wasn't even cold this winter. I don't even think. Not in South Georgia down here. So I mean, that's probably why.
Well, I mean, you think there's been cases up here in Wisconsin where it's been January and someone went to go work underneath the trailer house and they found like someone's loose boa wrapped around a hot water pipe underneath the trailer. You know, snakes can sense heat. They'll find a way to stay warm. You know, that snake could cool up in the back of someone's heat condenser on their refrigerator all winter long and be just fine. No one ever thinks about that. It's only cold outside. Snakes can fit in little holes.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you can mess around and back in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of places that conduct heat.
Damn. Yeah. Fuck, man. I can't believe that shit happened and it hit world news, like you said. Like, that shit was crazy.
And what it comes down to is, man, I don't know. It's hard to say it. I almost want to blame people that sell the animals because you go to some shows, one in particular that I don't attend. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Them venomous people will literally sell, not all of them, but most of them venomous people will literally sell a monocle cobra to an 18-year-old for their first snake. Like, they don't care. It's money to them. You know, I go to other shows, they'll turn experienced keepers down just because they said something stupid. You know, we need to stop. Of course, we can only vet our customers so much, but more breeders need to vet their customers a lot better. You know, I got venomous snakes. You know, Marissa, my albino Western, I haven't bred her in 4 years. You know, I could. I'll probably breed her this year because I have a melanistic and I can produce bubble gums. But, you know, you got to think, am I going to find 20 to 30 responsible safekeeping homes for this animal?
On top of that.
Right.
Because that's the thing, man. Because, like, I couldn't sell nobody a snake like that, you know, and they didn't have any kind of experience whatsoever.
Yeah, no, not even with one of my cages. You know, that's one thing that some people take my cages the wrong way. They think that because my cages are so safe that anyone could just get one and keep whatever they want. You still got to know how to work with that animal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That snake could get sick. You know what I mean? It's going to need upgraded, whatever. You still got to know what to do when the time comes.
Because you definitely gonna have to handle that animal at some point. Because you gotta, you know, I mean, you may have to take them out the enclosure, put them in something else, and like move.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it's going to happen. I mean, I've got cobras. Yeah, I mean, I've got snakes that I haven't had to put hands on in a year or two, and I got snakes that I got to pull out, you know, every couple months. You know, everyone's different. My sidewinder regularly has problems if I overfeed her or give her too many fucking like fuzzy rats or mice, well, she'll get compacted. I got to deal with her constantly. Luckily, fingers crossed, it's been about since my last video, I haven't had any issues, but you know, you never know. Anything could come up at any time, and you got to be able to know how to do that and be prepared for it.
Dang, I ain't know that about the sidewinders.
Damn. I mean, that's just pretty much any venomous snake, and you got like its fang is something, and it's like what, it gets infected, and you got to take it off or something, or like.
Yeah, sometimes there's all sorts of things that can come up.
See, I'm cool. I'll keep with the ball pythons.
So
I mean,
my mamba was originally a wild caught mamba. When I first got him and he came home, I realized 2 days later he had ticks on him, like 2 or 3 ticks. I had to get those ticks off. Like, I can't just leave them, you know? And one of them was like right on the back of his head. You know, if I wouldn't have known what I was doing, that could have been a fucking bad situation.
Hell yeah. And that's something I want to invest in, like getting some tubes. If I get some tubes and some stuff like that, that'll definitely help out too.
Right. For sure. You know, who was it that just commented? They made a really good point. KC, Mystic Mountain Morse. He made a really good point. I think a lot of vendors should require proof of enclosures before they sell venomous snakes. I mean, it ain't got to be one of mine, but it better at least have a damn lock on it.
Yeah.
You know, it should be. But that's any reptile in general. How many people buy animals and then you see them on Facebook that afternoon? How do I set this up? You know, how do I keep it alive? How do I take care of it? You don't see that nowhere near as much in the venomous world, but still.
I already got a cage set. Like if I already had something when I went out herping, I already had a cage set up at the house in case I found what I was looking for. And I had some locks for it to put on there and like extra. Like, all that shit was already set up at the house. It was waiting. I just got to find it.
Right. I mean, I've been keeping long enough where I always got enough shit laying around. I can slap together a cage in 15 minutes if it comes down to it. But you know, if I'm planning on getting an animal, I got that cage set a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance.
Got to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever actually get into venomous, man. I mean, it's cool. I'm not knocking on it.
Good. You know what? I actually appreciate that more than the people that are like, they just want to get one for the cool factor or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I got my wife, me, my kids.
I love that you're totally satisfied with working with the animals. That you got nothing to prove. They're cool. I can appreciate them from at your house, but that's not for me. And some people aren't like that. Some people want to be like, well, maybe I'll just get one, you know? And then we get the dreaded question that we all hate. What's the best first venomous? Someone else's.
Because I mean, I don't know. I got a thing for rattlesnakes for whatever reason.
No, I feel you.
I
My
don't know
first
why. It's
venomous
just,
was
I don't
a
know.
pair of Ruger rattlesnakes, which you can't even
Rattlesnakes,
find
they
them
do
barely
something.
anymore. Yeah, no, rattlesnakes are awesome, especially when you get one of the big long rattle and or like for me, I got a bunch of them. So when one starts rattling, they'll all start feeding off each other's energy. And next thing you know, like you can feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
It's a cool feeling.
Dude, they make a presence in a room. Like,
Yeah.
know.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool to go and see like your collection and see that, but dude, I couldn't own one. I'm cool.
Right. Hell yeah. I
I
feel
love
you.
to talk about them, man, but damn, it's some of them I just ain't gonna mess with. Like cobras and stuff. I don't know if I can get into the cobras. I'll probably stick with the rattlesnakes.
So I'll be honest with you 110%. This is my personal opinion again. Cobras are way easier to work with than rattlesnakes.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
dude, rattlesnakes are crazy, psycho, and unpredictable. I can manipulate my cobras to do exactly what I want them to do when I want them to do it. They have instincts that they can't fight. You know, especially when you get one, you know, you work with a rattlesnake from a baby on up. I've worked with Marissa since she was a little worm in a tiny deli cup, and she's still a fucking psycho. You know, now I got cobras I've worked with from the same sense, and you'd think they're a corn snake. You know, yeah. I don't
A
know.
lot more smarter,
I always
guess.
thought the same thing, man. I had almost 30 rattlesnakes before I got my first cobra, and I thought that was a big step. And I realized real fast that, man, my Western Diamondbacks were the hardest thing I had to work with.
Damn. See, like I don't know. Some of the ones I see with the cobras, they come like flying out and shit. I feel like, damn. That's why I thought, even cobras were probably harder to work with than rattlesnakes. I didn't know that though. Maybe it's because the cobra's smarter.
So I would say that the only downfall is if you do make a mistake, cobras are going to be a lot less forgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of your crotalus species, especially ones that are commonly kept in North America, you're going to be okay. Most species. You know what I mean?
The thing. Yeah, I know they got that crowfab. Most that treats most of the snakes that live here in the U.S. that are venomous.
Right. So I mean,
I'd rather do that.
You get tagged by a Western or an Eastern, or you might lose a finger, you might have a bad day, but you're probably going to pull through. You get tagged by a monocle, you get tagged by a spectacle or an Indian cobra or something like that. I mean, I ain't saying you're going to die, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a lot rougher of a ride.
Well, the bigger thing is the bigger picture of the aspect is if you get bit by like a monocled cobra or like even a gaboon viper or something like that, like that's a snake where they had to go get antivenom from a zoo somewhere, or you know what I mean, and that's taken away from that area that they don't have protection for the people that work with their animals.
Yep.
On top of all that.
And once you take the zoo's venom, you lose all your anonymity. So how the law is written is if you get bit and you have to get anti-venom from a zoo, the zoo can't say Joe Challenger got bit and we had to give him anti-venom, but the zoo can legally say a private keeper got bit and we had to give up our anti-venom, and they can sell it to the news. That's how the shit blows up. If you were someone like Eric Vogel, who went through the 14-month process of getting licensed to keep his own crowfabs and anti-venoms, if Eric Vogel gets bit, he's going to go to the hospital. He can bring his antivenom. He's going to come out on Monday, and none of us are ever going to hear about it. Because no one can the hospital can't say someone's in here with a snake bite. That's illegal.
Okay. So, because my wife came home and I walked away for a second. Did I miss this? And if I did, sorry. But pound for pound, the rattlesnake is deadlier than a cobra?
No.
Cobra?
That's the part you missed. I said the one downfall to the the crotalus species versus your elapids is if you take a bite from an elapid, you're going to have a much worse day. A majority of your crotalus species, especially all the North American species, if you get bit, you're going to have a bad weekend, but you're going to be okay. A lot of your elapids, yeah, you might be all right, but it's going to be a lot worse of a weekend, but you also might not be all right. You know what I mean? and it's a lot harder to get the anti-venoms for. Some of your, if you get bit in Georgia by a native species, they're not stealing the anti-venom from the zoo. The hospital keeps that on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
With
imagine
this
instead of you being able to just get it from the hospital, they got to airlift that shit from 4 hours away, and then
Or
it may not
farming
even be
somewhere.
enough.
Yeah.
So like I heard the
Yeah.
king cobra has like the biggest venom glands, I guess you say, or most biggest yield when it comes down to it, like or something like that. But if you don't take that high of a dose, they're saying from a king, right? It's not as bad as it would be if you took the full dose.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, a small dose from a king cobra is a lot of fucking venom.
Yeah.
See,
I wouldn't want to get bit by the gaboon or a sidewinder because the way they eat and attack and hold on.
I'd rather not get bit by any of them myself.
Well, no. But I mean, we're just
choose.
talking about I have seen some of those videos where they use the venom on the blood. Like I've seen some of those.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Oof.
Yeah. If you ever watch Dingo's channel, he does a lot of those videos where he tests different venom on blood. And he
Dingo Dinkelman,
does,
I know.
Yeah, he does different venom on meats and watches how it decomposes. Like, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And that's why it's the key is like you do not get bit. Don't get
No, right. I mean, I'm just saying.
I remember that episode, man. I was watching that one. I watched that one before. Ooh.
Did you see the one where he let the spitting cobra get his fucking dude in the eyes on purpose?
Nah.
Yeah, go watch that one. That one's insane.
Oh no.
Straight, because there's a lot of myths about spitting cobras. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks if you get caught in the eyes, you're going blind. Not the case. It's gonna hurt like hell. It's gonna burn. You'll be all right. Not gonna go blind.
And they're accurate too.
Oh,
how long
accurate.
how long of a burning would you say?
I mean, if you didn't do anything to treat it, I mean, if you got spit in the eyes and you did nothing to treat it, and you just sat there and took it, you might have some vision issues after that. But if you're washing your eyes out, pouring milk on them, all the tricks and techniques to get it out of your eyes, it's going to be sore for a couple hours. You're going to wake up the next morning with goop in your eyes, but you're going to be all right.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, no. That's why I could mess with no spitting cobras. I'm good on that.
What's up, Hill Jack?
Yeah, what's up, Hill Jack?
So, damn.
I like Hill. He's a fucking boss.
Hey.
Hill Jack's cool, man. I like watching his stuff too.
Yeah. He's got him a nice puppy tame monocle cobra. Semi puppy tame.
You see in the Dingo Dinkelman video, the kid's eyes were perfectly fine about 2 days later, and I think he said they burned for 3 or 4 hours. And his vision was still blurry the next day and a half. Oh, okay, I got you.
Too much for me.
Hell yeah, man. I'm good.
But I'll tell you what you don't want to get is bitten by a spitting cobra. You see how much venom they shoot? Imagine all that going into your body.
A lot of people don't know that. I was watching a video about that. They don't think that they can still inject venom and bite you. Yeah, they can.
They get you in there. If you get bit by a spitter, you're in a world of hurt.
You're fucked.
You're pretty close to fucked.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. No, that's
like you said, they're constantly spitting, and you're like, oh yeah, if I took a bite right now, it's not so bad. Some dumbass will probably be like, yeah, look, and then not realize like you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, the venomous industry is definitely not for everybody. But what people need to realize, especially people like that idiot that just got that snake loose, is if they keep cutting all these laws and making it so the few of us that do work with them can't, then what? Then what happens when you're walking in the park and you get bit by a Western Diamondback and there's nobody keeping the snake to create the anti-venom to save your ass because you banned it all on us? Then what?
And that's what people tend to forget every single
They
time.
forget all of that. The next time they go into surgery and they get that fancy glue that they glue you up with, and they realize that that's made from snake venom, and you can't get it no more because we're not keeping them to create that glue for you. Then what? You know, when you get diabetes and you start getting treated with venom, that's the newest, greatest medicine that's like treating diabetes is made from venom. What
Damn.
then? Like, if people actually understood how many times they use venom in their daily lives and how many times it's going to save them, man, their whole opinion would change.
But most people don't think like that. Like you said,
Yeah.
most people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get this because I'm at, I could get it." Like,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that you should have it.
yeah.
Just because
all
you're
them
able
old
to.
ladies, all them old ladies with that face wrinkle cream that makes their skin tighten up, they can thank a Waggler eye viper for that.
You said a whack? Which one?
The Waggler eye viper.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yep, that's what makes all of those face creams that make your wrinkles go away.
Damn, didn't know that either.
I didn't know that, man. That's fuck.
Oh, another random one I just thought about that I like a lot: the Mangshan Vipers. You ever seen one of those?
Dude, yeah. So
Yes.
I have a few friends that have them, and then I got to see the giant pair of Mangshangs that's at the St. Louis Zoo. I don't know if you guys watched that video when I went. It's in my.
I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I think it's in the one where I went to the vet. Yep, it's in my taking my snakes to the vet. Before I went to the St. Louis Zoo, and they had a pair of Mangshangs there that were huge, and man, they were so gorgeous.
I'm definitely gonna go check that out because I love the Mangshan Vipers.
Yeah, he'll just message me. I'll get you a full price list, man. Matter of fact, hit J&G up. He's got my cell phone number. You can call me up directly.
Hell yeah, that's badass though, man. Yeah. Where exactly are you located? What
I'm
state?
in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Oh,
Yep.
Nevada.
And I'm over here in Georgia.
See, Nevada, I don't even think you can keep venomous in Nevada.
Something with if it's native, but I
Is
don't
it
know how
native?
long. I think there's restrictions on how long you could keep the animal too.
Yeah, see, I think you're in one of those states where you can only keep them during the hunting season.
I believe
What?
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because they have hunting seasons on rattlesnakes. Like there's actual seasons for them.
Wait.
So then, yeah, people eat them. You know.
Huh?
Yeah.
Eat them.
Yeah.
Oh no. Hey man, no, you can't eat a rattle. That's crazy.
I've eaten
He's like,
rattlesnakes
Do
before.
they taste good?
They're not bad, actually. I'm not even gonna lie. They're all right.
all right.
Huh.
I've eaten a lot of reptiles that blows people's minds, but if I'm at like some restaurant and that's their specialty and it was like humanely gathered, cooked, and prepared, I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I'm gonna eat that shit.
I've had elk before, but like I don't know, I don't know, man. I like snakes.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
if I can
elk
eat
is
snake.
like the cream of the crop, man. Like who doesn't want to eat elk?
That's
I've
the
had-
question.
I've had rattlesnake. I've had cottontail. I've had antelope, elk, deer, bison, a few other things that I can't think of. I think the worst
Bison's
one that I
alright.
had was ram. Ram was gross. I didn't like ram.
The worst thing I ever ate was a scorpion. That wasn't good.
Ugh. Rattlesnake roundups. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, fuck rattlesnake roundups. Anyone that supports them can go fuck off.
For any reptile.
And I say that with all due respect. If you support the rattlesnake roundup, please don't follow me because I'll talk a lot of shit about you.
I agree, but I mean, it also goes, I think, for every reptile. There shouldn't be any kind of, Jose was talking about when they get to Florida, with the pythons, dude, that's fucked, man.
Yeah.
It is fucked up, but it's something that got to be done, though.
No, it ain't got to be done. Just walk away.
They can't persist in the natural habitat down there.
So with the berms, I understand because they're actually doing ecological damage, right? The rattlesnake roundups, they belong in that ecosystem. They're straight up diminishing huge populations. When they gas a den, they'll pour gas into a den, and then the fumes will push all the snakes out. That den will never be used again, ever. For 100 years, snakes will not go in that den. Every time they kill a den, they got one less place to go hibernate for the winter, and it's a cycle that just continues until there's none left. The berms don't belong there, and they're causing an ecological problem. The whole chain of, what eats a berm?
Nothing.
An occasional alligator once in a while. Now think about how big of a clutch a berm has. I mean, I've had clutches of 47 personally myself with berms.
They eat alligators.
Now imagine you got 100 females that are laying a clutch of 50 every year, and then those babies get raised up, and that can be a problem real fucking fast. Like, it could literally wipe out Florida's ecosystem, especially in the Everglades. So I understand where they're at with the berms in Florida, but people also need to understand that the berms aren't spread out in Florida like they think they are. They're pretty localized.
Yeah.
That shit you see them pulling them out of sewer drains and stuff, that's staged. That shit's fake. 90% of them are in the Everglades. The other 10% aren't far from them. But you can find way worse than that in the Everglades. You go look long enough. There's all sorts of shit loose in the Everglades. There's fucking king cobras living in the Everglades.
Seriously?
I vouch for that. I promise you.
I wouldn't doubt it.
What people don't understand is that facility that got blown out with the hurricane, they were huge. They did African rock pythons, berms, retics. They also had a giant venomous section, one of the biggest in Florida. That all got wiped out in the hurricane too. Not all that shit died. The Everglades is perfect habitat for cobras.
Yeah. The Florida, like southern Florida, is perfect habitat for damn near any animal that you can think of.
Animal. Yeah.
Yeah. It don't matter what it is. Them over got tegus, iguanas running around that bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool.
And they do the same thing with the gathering with the tegus. Like they pay you to go get those out of the wild and shit.
Right.
Could you imagine going to look for berms and then just randomly, just not even knowing, and a king cobra just rolls up on you? Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? Holy shit. It's freaking cobra out here.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm sorry, BPL, but I'll blow that motherfucker's dome piece off. God, no. I ain't messing with it, man.
Odds of you finding some shit like that would be pretty hard, though, because like all snakes, they're going to be elusive and try and get away.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that blows me away. Like, they can't even get a handle on these berms. Not even close. Like, I know people catching 20, 30 in a night, and it ain't even putting a dent in it.
Yo, what's going on in the chat? What's up with this?
Nothing. Derek was jealous, that's all. Because he was taking too long to get that snake from J&G, and I was like, well, you might as well just give it to me then.
Man.
Dude, I'll tell you what, Derek is pumped about that copperhead.
He is.
Dude, I love Derek to death. I ain't never seen a kid, a grown-ass man, excited like a little kid on Christmas when I carried up that fucking cage for him at his place. Like, instantly, Who's on live right now? Who's on live right now? We're hitting them up. We hit up your live. We hit up Kurtwood's live. He was so excited, man. It was awesome. If y'all ever get a chance to go actually hang out with Derek, I highly recommend you do it because he is a fucking lot of fun.
Well, yeah, man. He's cool people, man.
I'll tell y'all right now, if I'm ever in any of y'all's areas, I'm gonna hit you up to kick it because I like fucking hanging out with reptile people.
He said feeling the burn, Josue. What are you talking about? Sleepy Weasel. Let's see. What's up, Bubbles Butterfly? But yeah, man. So I didn't think Derek was gonna get him, man. I was like, you might as well send him to me. At least I've been out here looking for one, trying to find one.
I think they're just having an issue with Delta right now. Delta doesn't want to ship animals yet.
And that's crazy. Like, I didn't realize you have to go pick them up at the airport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't play about that.
No, the only one that you can ship venomous through is Delta Air, and it's got to be Delta Dash, I think. But I know whenever I get mine, I just go to the. I like messing with the people at the airport, though. I fuck with them every time I go in there. I'll go in there, I'll grab my box, I'll be signing for it, and they'll be like, "You realize what's in here, right?" I'll be like, "Yeah, it's like some leopard geckos or something," and I just grab the box and walk away and don't say shit.
There you go. Oh man, that's funny.
And then like the whole time you're walking through the airport, all you got thinking in your brain is like, there's 100 fucking people around you, and not a single one of them knows you got a box full of deadly snakes in your hand, walking right past them. It geeks me out.
It blows my mind too. You like, man, people don't even know.
They don't have no clue, man. I love it. It's like it geeks me out.
He said, elaborate on the copperhead, please, Josue. I don't understand. What do you mean, elaborate?
What's up, Sean? So Sean Pilot in the chat. That's a local guy. He's right in my town.
Hell yeah. Welcome.
I already talked about it, man, because I told him Derek kept playing around. He told me he was going to get a copperhead. He never got one. So I asked J&G, hell, give it to me. I'll take care of it.
J&G said he just shipped through Delta. So, Derek, you should be able to get that ship now.
Yeah. Ain't nobody trying to rob him, man. You know, some people may not need a venomous snake.
Right. I'm going to have all sorts of babies coming real soon. My girls are looking plump. I produce a lot of copperheads, though.
Gotta talk about the ivory berm.
Dude, okay. So he ain't even joking. Y'all gonna like this one because you guys like talking about crazy reptile news. So we got a dude that's been working around Wisconsin selling reptiles for, man, since before I got into the hobby.
Yeah.
His company was called Wild Bill's Exotics. And Bill was fucking wild, right? So about, man, it's probably been almost 9-10 months now since the incident actually happened. But Bill left his wife, started dating some like tweaker chick, right? Got all hooked on meth. And then tweaker chick's kid stole all of Bill's reptiles, all of them. And I mean, he had big berms, like gaboons, caiman, lace monitors, Bell's face lace monitors. Like, the dude had a fucking zoo in Wapaka, about 45 minutes from my house. Well, his kid, or not his kid, his new girlfriend's kid stole all his reptiles. While Bill found out about that it was him that stole his animals, showed up and blew dude away. Straight up shot this kid. This happened about 9 months ago, 45 minutes from my house. Killed him, 19 years old, over his reptile collection. Anyway, I get a call from Sean, who's in the comments, talking about this lady is selling all these crazy berms and all these high-end animals for dirt cheap. Turns out his tweaker girlfriend's selling all of his damn shit that he's in prison for right now because he shot her kid over stealing his reptiles in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, no bullshit. He just went there and bought an adult pair of ivory berms for $200.
That's insane. That's
Yeah.
highway robbery.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how much they cost, but $200 for a Burmese in general.
So a proven breeder ivory berm by itself, just one.
$1,500.
Yeah, probably $1,000 to $1,500.
Whew.
Yeah, no, John just sent me the list. She has the whole list of stuff she's trying to sell. And I'm kind of torn because I want to go buy it because it's killer deals, but at the same sense, I don't know if I want to murder his animals, especially buying them from someone that's like her kid got shot over him stealing his animals in the first place. What if he makes bail? I mean, I don't think he's going to make bail, but what if he makes bail? Be like, my bad, bro. I bought your $20,000 collection for $500 because crack ain't cheap.
Hey, Bubbles Butterfly said Chuck Norris got bit by a rattlesnake, and then 3 days later, the snake died. I thought it was funny.
Straight blasting him, huh?
That's hilarious.
Straight fucking blasting him, huh? That's
That
crazy.
shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, that shit's wild. You'd think you'd just go back and be like, give me my animals back. But instead,
Hey, everybody, hey, I don't even know, man. Everybody thinks different, I guess. I'd be like, give me my, I'd be and took all my shit back, but man, hey, it is what it is. Can't change it now, so.
the funny part is some of the snakes she's trying to sell, I produced and sold to him like a year and a half ago. She's got a Western Diamondback rattlesnake she's trying to sell, and she don't even know that it's 100% het albino. And the only reason I know is because I produced it and sold it to him.
Just
Damn. I didn't even think it was really like morphs like that with the rattlesnakes.
Oh,
Is it
dude.
just like the Western that's like that?
So Eastern, my buddy Chris Janacek just produced albino Easterns, and I'm getting a pair, one albino and then one non-visual, 100% het albino. But the Westerns are probably the biggest morphed rattlesnake. You got your albinos, your purple haze, your bubblegums, melanistics, your genetic stripes, your patternless, your scaleless.
Scaleless?
Yeah.
What? I gotta
Yeah,
look that up.
my female Western's got she's completely scaleless on her head.
damn.
It's part of why I've been holding back on breeding her, because I'm not really a fan of having a scaleless rattlesnake.
That's got to be crazy.
I mean, they're cool, but if you have a shed issue, it's not like a shed issue on a scaleless ball python. It's a shed issue on a Western Diamondback.
Oh yeah, we got to bring that back. Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about for a second. Yeah. Can't just go in there and pull that shit off.
Right. So, I mean, but it's, you got there was a paradox years ago, but as to the best of my knowledge, dude never bred it. Not even one time. You'll see the pictures of it floating around from time to time on Facebook.
Do they have any issues with breeding or anything with rattlesnakes?
Rattlesnakes are easy to breed. Cool them down, just like anything else, but you got to really kind of cool them down to a nice cool temperature. When you warm them back up, feed them up fat, put them together, and then keep your female nice and warm. And then they have live babies.
Man, I go crazy. I had me a little baby Eastern. I've been trying to come across one. That's probably, well, I don't know. The timber is my favorite, but having an Eastern would be pretty cool too.
I've been wanting an Eastern for so long, and it's funny because like you guys can get Eastern pretty readily. Around me, they're hard to come by. Everyone's got Westerns. So when I found out my buddy not only had a pair, but they were producing this year. I was so excited. I got right at the top of the list. I was the first one that got the pictures when they popped up. Something about having a rattlesnake that can get like 8 to 10 foot and albino. That's fucking awesome.
So here's a question for you. It's something I don't know. Do all venomous give live birth, or is it mixed with eggs?
No, it's mixed. It's mixed. To the best of my knowledge, there could be a species out there that I'm not familiar with, but all crotalus species are live bearers, which is your rattlesnake species. There could be egg-laying species out there, but I've never worked with them, don't know about them. But, you know, your monocle cobras are egg layers, mambas are egg layers. There's all sorts of egg-laying ones, too.
Okay. So is it harder with the rattlesnakes being live birth or with the cobra having eggs?
So I'm
That'd be
the one to ask that because I prefer live bearing reptiles personally. I can hatch out eggs, no problem. I've done it for years, but I've always had way more success with my live bearing animals than I had with egg laying animals. And that's just because, in my opinion, there's so many things that can go wrong from eggs being laid to eggs hatching. You know, you could have a spike in the temperature in your incubator, or humidity levels off, or it's too high, or whatever. There's so many problems that can go wrong. You got a live bearing snake, you just got to keep that female warm and comfortable in her cage, which she should be already with your, you know, heat pads, thermostats, radiant heat panels, whatever. And she's going to have them babies, you know? So I lean more towards live bearers in general.
Okay. Easier to feed and all that, I take, right? Like,
yeah. Now the downfall is if you're into live bearers and you're responsible, you're not going to get as much production out of it. You know, you have an egg laying snake, you can breed them every year, no problem. You breed a live bearing snake every year, you're going to have a dead snake in 5 years, or you're going to be getting slugged out batches or whatever. You got to imagine that they hold them babies and incubate them themselves that whole time. They're not eating. That takes a lot out of them. By the time they have them babies, you got 2 months to put food back in them before they cool down for the next season. Fuck that. They're going down for a whole year at least. You know,
see, I didn't know that either. That's good to know. So
yeah, you take an egg laying snake, they're going to breed within, 30, 60 days, 90 days, they're going to lay them eggs. Well, that snake's already back on food and getting back healthy for the next 9 months before it goes into cooling again. Where that live bearing snake, it's still got another 3, sometimes 6. You take a Western Diamondback, you're looking at 6 months process from breeding to babies. That's a long time with no food. And then you got to put them back down for hibernation and, beginning to mid-December. That's not a lot of time for them to put on weight, especially when they have their babies in August.
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
so what's the typical that you get with a rattlesnake clutch live bearing? Like, what's the average?
So depending on the species, 8 to 20 is a good clutch. I've seen higher, and like my buddy's Easterns, he had like 25 and two slugs, 1 stillborn, and 25 healthy babies. So
Damn.
you can have big clutches, compared to a monocle cobra that's going to give you 6 to 10 eggs, maybe 12 if it's a really huge batch.
J&G says Chuck Norris lives 20 minutes from him.
Oh,
That's what they're sitting there doing Chuck Norris jokes in the chat. That's what I'm sitting there reading now.
I was just reading them too. There's a lot of Chuck Norris jokes in there.
Let me sit up a little bit. But I don't know, so I wonder if that's the same for all the live bearing snakes, like in general, just like with the breeding stuff. Like, 'cause I know boas are like that too.
Yeah, so if you're a good responsible breeder, that's how it should be. You know, my boas are only getting bred every other year to every third year, you know, to where I'll breed my retics every year. I don't care. You know, you can breed them every year. You're going to kill your snake in the long run. It's just way too much stress. You're not going to have good, strong clutches. You're going to see smaller babies. You're going to see babies that don't thrive as well. I mean, that's just been my personal experience. And I don't know, I kind of swear by my mistakes I've made in the past.
See, if I want to consider getting a venomous snake, which one is good for a beginner? None of them.
Somebody else's, man.
Someone else's. Yeah.
Yep. That's a real fact. Like, and it's easier said than done. You'll hear it 100 times. Get a mentor, you know, work with other people's snakes first. That's not always an option for people. As a matter of fact, it's not an option for a lot of people. Because, for instance, if I decide I want to mentor someone and I'm going to bring them into my facility and train them to work with venomous, that's a lot of risk that I'm taking on myself. You know, I'm taking a random person, putting their life on the line in my facility, you know, and I'm definitely not going to do something like that for someone that wants to have one pet reptile. You know, someone that wants a single pet rattlesnake, I'm not going to go through all that hassle, time, stress, risk to my company, to my animals, for someone to keep a pet. So unless your, you know, lifelong goal is to work with these animals, you're probably not going to find a mentor that's worth a damn that's going to teach you. The next step is you could find a mentor that has bad habits, and then he's teaching you how to do things all the wrong way. So as much as someone else's is the best way to go, it's not always an option for everyone. So the next best thing is find something local, indigenous to your state. Get a captive born baby, work with it a lot when it's young with hooks, getting used to its movements, how to read that snake. And then if you do ever make a mistake, there's local anti-venom that can save you at any hospital. But I will say this, if your goal is to someday keep, you know, a cobra, a copperhead's not going to teach you how to keep a cobra. It's just not. It's going to give you the idea of how to working with something that's venomous and that can cause great harm to you, but nothing acts like a cobra besides a cobra. You know what I mean? So you'll never hear me recommend a non-venomous snake to get someone prepared for a venomous snake. It's just, to me, it's foolish. It doesn't make any sense.
The best answer somebody probably gave for you to get a snake to practice on was like, you need to get you like a black racer or like something that's spastic. And you need to learn how to control them on a hook first.
Yeah, but seeing that, and what I hate about that is not all venomous snakes are crazy and spastastic. You know, all that's teaching you how to do is to catch a fast snake. You know what I mean? And you get you a racer, it may be fast, but it also may not be trying to bite you. You know what I mean?
That too, yeah.
So in a way, yes, I can see how that can be helpful for like learning how to use a hook, things like that nature. But when it comes to, you know, you take a racer, that's a fast moving snake that's all over. I would not take someone that can work with a racer heavily and be like, okay, you can get a mamba now.
No.
Fuck me, you can't. But when you talk about the movement, they're almost identical as far as fast, flighty, quick moving. But you agree with me, a racer is not going to teach you how to keep a mamba. So that theory to me is flawed. It can help you with learning how to use your hooks, this, that, and the next thing, but so can walking around picking up trash. Like, I'll be honest, you want to get really good at using a hook, go around and clean up your yard with nothing but your snake hook ones, and then see how fast you can do it. You'll get good at working at a hook real good.
Damn.
But yeah, I've never been a fan of working with a crazy non-venomous snake and then saying, okay, now I'm ready for a venomous snake. It's just not the way it works. Your best bet is to discover the species that you want, learn everything you can about it, watch every keeper's videos, 20 different keepers that keep that species, and learn everything they know, every little tip. Decide if that's in your capabilities of your experience and your handling, and then get a quality captive born baby that's small and manageable and start working with it in a small, safe, like a tall tub with 2 hooks to where the snake can't escape. It's a baby, and then start to learn to read your individual snake, because snakes themselves have personalities. I got 5 different monocle cobras. Every one of them acts completely different. Everyone. I got one that's puppy tame. I got one whose life goal is to kill me. I got one that's calm inside the cage, crazy when it comes out. I got one that's super cage aggressive, and second it comes out, it's puppy tame again. Like, they'll all have their individual personalities, and you need to learn that. And starting with an adult animal you know nothing about is just it's like getting your first dog and you go and adopt a 4-year-old pit bull that you found on the side of the street. You know what I mean? Like, you can probably keep it alive, but can you really do, you know what I mean? Can you work with it properly?
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel what you're saying. Like, yeah, no, they really do. Each snake does have its own personality. I mean, don't take, ball pythons like they do. They have their own personality. But if I get bit, I'm not going to get fucked up.
Right. Yeah. And I'll tell you this right now. If you're worried about getting bit, venomous ain't for you. Getting bit has to be the last thing on your mind. Like, you need to be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you need to be aware you don't want to get bit. But when I'm working with my venomous snakes, the last thing that's going through my mind is don't get bit, don't get bit. Oh, this thing can't bite me. What's going through my mind is, oh, his tongue's flicking a little faster than he was 2 seconds ago. I better watch. He's about to turn back, or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? You want to be focused on your animal, worrying about being bit. You don't worry about being bit until you've been bit.
See, I've been lit up by my Melpide. It took a good while to keep holding him, but you can't do that with the rattlesnake. You can't just force it to be with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can break that barrier with my ball pythons. I can't break that barrier with a venomous snake. I can't just go free handle that motherfucker and let it light me up 50 plus times and be like, yep, no, I'm good.
Exactly.
Cause me, man, can't do it, man. I just look at him from a distance, and I feed him. I do I still mess with him, move him around a little bit, but I leave him alone most days.
Listen, the more hands off you can be with your venomous snake, the better. That snake doesn't want to be your friend as much as you want it to be. It's scared to death of you. It sees you as nothing but a giant heat signature that's probably going to try and hurt it. That's what it thinks constantly in its brain. It doesn't want to be your friend. When you're working with them animals, you're pulling them out, it's stressful for them. When they're rattling and they're buzzing around and this, that, it's stressful on them. So the more you can keep your hands off that snake, the better off that snake's going to be. I would much rather see someone that has a venomous snake that's fat and healthy in a cage that's never had its hands put on it and psycho as can be, than one that's, some guys got puppy tame. Like, because you don't know what it went through to get to that point and how much risk was involved. I love seeing fat, healthy rattlesnakes sitting in a cage being left alone. Big, long rattles on them, 20, 30 buttons deep. That's what I like to see.
Yep. Mine's actually about to shed again soon, so I was kind of happy about that because you can finally kind of hear him a little bit.
Bad Blood wants to know what's the easiest species to get.
Which one is it?
Bad Blood reptiles.
Is it easiest to get? I mean, depending on what state you're from, none of them are really hard to get. But that's a hard question to ask me because I can pretty much make a phone call, and if I got the money in my bank, I could have just about any species that's legal to keep in my door tomorrow. Because I've been in the industry for a long time. I would say, if you're talking general venomous that's available, you're always going to see your copperheads, your western diamondbacks, things of that nature. To be honest, pygmies are one of the harder ones to come by. I'm actually kind of jealous. Unless you're from that area and you can go collect them. But your most common you're going to see is copperheads, cottonmouths, westerns. Believe it or not, one of the most readily available venomous snakes on the market is a monocle cobra. Everyone's fucking got a monocle cobra. Everybody. Seems like it anyway. There's really, for a beginner, your copperheads, cottonmouths, those are I would personally, my opinion, do not get a rattlesnake for your first venomous. Pygmies are a little bit easier because they're smaller and manageable, but you know, my hardest snake to work with, period, are any of my Western Diamondback hands down. They're the hardest ones to work with. Like my melanistics, and let me see, I'll give you guys a look at them real quick.
Your friend says I might be getting that pair of gaboons tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I hope you talked her down. So here's my melanistic rattlesnake. He's already reared up, mattered and hornet. But these guys here, here's the other one over here in the hide box. They're so nuts that when I move them, I just go straight for grabbers. I don't even fuck around with hooks because they're absolutely insane. Like they've literally launched off from hooks at me before. They're nuts.
Oh shit.
Bad Blood says so. A copperhead is a good beginner snake.
I would say it's a good entry-level venomous, but you definitely still want to have extreme reptile knowledge and experience first. And definitely keep your wits about you. The nice part about a copperhead is you're probably not going to die if it bites you, but it's going to suck and you could lose a finger or two.
That is true.
No matter where it bites you, you're going to lose a finger, maybe?
I mean, not necessarily. That's kind of your worst case scenario on a copperhead.
Honey, I'm going to bed.
Finger.
Like I said, most times at most hospitals they carry the antivenom that you can get treated for it, but you know, I don't know. You still don't want to get bit though.
But I know I had a lady that got bit by copperhead while she was looking for scorpions, I think, down in Texas. She didn't even go to the hospital. Yeah, she was at the show. She got bit in her foot. It was one fang. It went through her shoe and got her. And yeah, she never even went to the hospital. I would recommend still going to the hospital, but a lot of them won't do anything for you.
So you just have to be sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, I was just, who was I just watching? I was just watching another podcast, or maybe I joined to talking to it. Either way, but whatever state they were in, they won't even treat copperhead bites. They just sit there and watch you, because with copperhead envenomations, the antivenom a lot of time causes more harm than good.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, the antivenom for copperheads is actually more dangerous than just running the course of the venom.
Oof, that's still messed up though. God damn.
I mean, get bit by a fucking Gila monster one time. Ain't nothing you can do about that, but just take it.
I think I've seen Coyote Peterson. I think he got bit by one or something like that.
Sucks, dude. I got nailed by one time, man. I just took a handful of Benadryl and went to bed. Wake me up in the morning.
Damn. Them damn Gila monsters ain't no joke, man. I do like them though. They are cool looking.
Yeah.
Big lizards and all that stuff.
Those are probably pretty close to the high up and coming stuff for my facility once I get the basement finished up. I got a buddy in Minnesota that breeds the pure black beaded lizards that have like maybe one or two white specks. Other than that, they're just solid black. And then my other buddy in Minnesota breeds a bunch of Gilas. So those will probably be on pretty close to the next, probably top 10 on my list of new additions.
How do you feel about them Hex Armor gloves? Do you have any?
I don't. I'm probably going to get some here, but mostly for my channel, because I'm going to do some pretty cool venomous stuff on my channel that I want to do, but the gloves will be handy for it. I've used them at friends' facilities. I honestly think they take away a lot of your movement. So
that's what I was thinking.
That's the downfall to it. So I mean, if you use them for what they are, and that's just a secondary safety feature, they're great. But if you think you're gonna get some hex armor gloves and start free handling fucking mambas, you got another
No.
thing. Right.
No. Man, because they said like we was talking to J&G about it, and he was like, well, the most you could probably like go with like something small, like like smaller arboreal like venomous snakes or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
That's
still,
like
I
something
think,
that'll be more better for it.
yeah, I mean, there's still scenes and stuff. I've watched Dingo's tests on him where he's done all different types of teeth as far as penetration tests go. But for me, the only thing I would want him for is like, for instance, if I had a stuck eye cap on a snake, and I got to tube it and then come back and actually pin it behind the head, that extra feature would be nice. Because I kind of follow Crutchfield's rules, man. You don't grab a snake behind the fucking head. Like, that's how you're going to get bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if you got a snake with a stuck eye cap, you got to restrain that snake from behind the head. And that's what I see the purpose for him being. Or maybe on your hook hand that you're using with your hook, just in case it comes back or runs up the hook quick, you got a little extra protection on your fingers. But that's about them, or maybe with working with babies. If you're picking up baby snakes that just hatched or something, that'd be nice for. But just like anything, it's just a secondary safety measure.
I forgot what there was I think some kind of viper that they can shoot their fangs out like the side of their mouth or something like that, and you have to like be real watchful about it. I was watching a video.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Yeah, they can like instead of having them like this, like when their mouths out, they can push them out the sides.
yeah,
You still get tagged that way.
yeah. They're a very, very small sand viper. I had a pair of them, but I sold them to my buddy in Minnesota, mainly because the adults were like 8 inches long. Full-grown adults, like 8 to 10 inches long. And I bought him because he was having a baby. I bought his entire venomous collection. And he was like, yeah, them bred, and she's probably going to have babies. And I'm looking at this full-grown 10-inch snake, like, how fucking small are your babies going to be? I ain't fucking dealing with that. And I called my buddy up, like, bro, you want a pair of rattlesnakes, and the babies are going to be born in the next month, and they'll probably be a half an inch long?
Jesus.
Damn, they come out that tiny?
They're probably 2 inches, maybe 3 inches, but still, it's a tiny little
strange.
worm, man.
Yeah, it is. Damn.
Yeah, they're real small.
No, do you have any bandit rattlesnakes?
No, I wish. I had one, but I sold it because it was the only one I had. The problem with the banded rock rattlesnakes is there's not a lot of people breeding them, so all of them have to be wild collected, and they're hard to find, And I'm kind of in that situation where if it's hard to find them, that means there's not a lot of them. So I'd rather they stay where they are. But yeah, I had one for a while. It came with my buddy's collection when I bought his whole collection out. It was a male. It was awesome. I couldn't find a female for it, and I finally decided to part with it. But I sold it to a friend that had a female. He wasn't willing to part with hers, and I wasn't willing to part with mine. And neither one of us really wanted to do a loan on it, like a breeder loan. And so I ended up finally caving. You want that strawberry or what, dude?
Damn.
So all you work with is ball pythons?
Yes, sir. Well, I breed my rats. That's it.
He does a damn good job with the rat breeding, though.
So hats off to you, because I don't do rodents, man.
I seen the thing you got the shipment the other day of all the rats. I was like, God damn, Joe, there are a lot of fucking rats.
That gets dropped off to my house every other week.
Whew.
Same.
So he had grocery bags full. He got a lot of them. I was like, holy fuck. I was like, you gotta have a lot of fucking snakes.
Yeah. I got like 70 or 67 just venomous. That's not including boas, berms, retics, none of that. Just venomous. 67
Damn.
of them.
It's a lot of mouths to feed.
It is.
What is your option? The Volta's cool. If I want to pick a gene, the one I really want would be Sunset. I just love how it just, I don't know, it looks amazing.
I got super sunset Monaco Cobras.
It's
shit.
a different kind of sunset.
No, I like the sunset balls too, but what's cool about the sunset Monocos is they start out completely translucent, and then they turn white, and then they turn yellow, and then as an adult, they're blaze orange. So you get that like 4-tier color transformation, kind of like the green tree pythons.
Nice.
So what's the Indian cobra and the Monaco cobra? They're totally different snakes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like a spectacle. They're not a spectacle cobra like that.
Yeah. So they're all 3 different species, but I would say the Indian cobra and the spectacle. Well, hold on a minute.
Monsoon's nice.
Yeah. I would say they're the most closely related, is the Indian and the specs.
So what about the Asian cobras? Or how depth, are those easy to keep?
Which species of Asian cobra?
I don't know. I'm just asking in general.
I mean, most of your elapids are pretty easy to keep. I would say the hardest to work with are going to be your kings and your forest cobras. Kings because of they're just huge, aggressive, and you got to deal with all the snakes. Forest cobras are probably one of the hardest to work with, and that's because they're fucking crazy. Like, they're crazy. I don't know. You guys seen Hill's forest cobras?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That shit crazy as shit. Ooh, woo. I was like, you a bad man, Hill Jack. I said, I stick to what I got.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I would like maybe, but nah. I just want another rattlesnake, man. Like I like the rattlesnakes a lot more.
Yeah.
Ooh, you Lord, damn cobras, man. Because I was looking at them Indian cobras, look pretty cool. Because I was looking at those, and I don't know. I just Google like random things like that.
Right.
What was the other one? There's another one I keep seeing. Fertilance. That's another one, South American species. I've seen that one, the Fertilance.
Yeah, but this is my thing with the Fertilance, which I have my respect for them, but they're just a super deadly copperhead.
Hell yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
hell yeah, it is.
That's all they are. They're fucking extremely deadly copperhead.
That, and it was the Fertilance. It was one more I was curious about. Oh, the one of the biggest ones, the bush viper.
The Bushmasters?
Bushmasters.
Yeah. So my buddy Rick Tozer is producing them in captivity.
Dude, I want to see one of those. Just to feel the scales on them, because they said like his scales are super rough on them.
They are, and they're almost like sharp. Like it's really cool. And what's funny is the Bushmasters during the day are really chill, relaxed, laid back. But as soon as them lights go off, dude, them fuckers will kill you.
That's a mean ass snake.
Yeah, but my buddy Rick Tozer, he's got a couple of pairs of them, and he's been producing them the last 2 years.
Bumblebee pied, huh? Dude, that's dope. But we're about to hit that 2-hour mark, so
oh shit.
Yeah, Joe, if you want to say, your goodbyes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, I just want to thank everyone that's been in the chats, because this has been, y'all have been blowing up in the chats, asking all sorts of questions. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all subscribe to both these guys' channels, because they're awesome people. Appreciate y'all having me on. If y'all are interested in cages, Venom-Proof Cages, Facebook, Instagram. Follow me on YouTube, What's in Your Backyard with Joe Challoner. If you want to see me working with my stuff. It's been geared more towards, it's going to be geared more towards like wild herping adventures, but I'll still be doing facility videos, show videos, stuff like that. But man, Yeah, thanks for having me on, you guys. It's been a fun one.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. And we appreciate you coming up here and hanging out with us, and everybody in the chat coming up here and chatting with us and just talking snakes and reptiles, man. Because we don't get to have too many venomous people up here too often, and that's the cool thing about it.
It was fun to just talk snakes a little too, because like, don't get me wrong, I love my cages, but everyone wants to talk about the cages. Everyone forgets that I'm a keeper too.
Yeah, I know you are. You should, because I remember when I first met you. I think it was on the Iron Animal show.
Yeah.
Or something like that a long time ago, and I was like, dang, so this guy, he has all kind of snakes. I think that's when you first got those checkered garter snakes, and you got some monocle cobras or something, because you had them in the styrofoam box still.
Yeah,
so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jose, you want to say anything?
That's it, man.
Go ahead, Joe. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, man, if you guys want to have me back on again ever, just get a hold of me. I'm usually pretty busy. As he knows, it took a little bit to get me on here, but if I got time off, I'm down to jump on.
Hell yeah, appreciate you.
Your business come first, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, appreciate you coming up and hanging out, dude. Everyone that's been watching, yeah, make sure you can go and subscribe to all three of us. You're here already, so make sure you're subscribed to me. Tomorrow's show will be back on Josue's channel. Joe, I appreciate you coming up here. Appreciate you, and dude, I'm gonna try to help you make some money off those cages. So everyone, have a good night.
From the sense